Hi, I'm Sydney Radka, and welcome to another edition of FLX Weekly here at FingerLakes1.com. It is July 21st, 2021, and we are live inside the FingerLakes1.com studio, where I am joined by Jim Sinicropi and Don Miller, the owner of Waterside Wine Bar in Phelps. Today's show is brought to you by Seneca Meadows. Seneca Meadows' annual open house is back this year. You can round up the whole family and spend the day with them Sunday, July 25th. That's this Sunday from 12 to 4 p.m. They have complimentary chicken barbecues going on. They have car shows, bounce houses, live falcons. My favorite thing that sounds the most exciting is they do like a simulator so kids can try out and see how heavy equipment is.
So it's like you can drive
an excavator maybe or something, which sounds so exciting for a kid. And obviously they have a lot more going on. You can head to Seneca Meadows Facebook to learn more. That's this Sunday already. They didn't get to have it because of COVID last year, so it's going to be back and bigger than ever, I'm sure.
It's a big one.
We are so excited to welcome you to the Finger Lakes One studios.
Hi, Don.
Well, thank you. Hello. Thank you very much for the invite.
Are you excited to be here with us today?
I am. I was quite nervous, but now I'm a little bit relaxed. So.
I hope we can show you that it's nice, casual time here, and we're going to talk about a lot of great stuff.
Don owns the Waterside Wine Bar in Phelps. A lot of people know that and remember that maybe from the retaining wall that collapsed in Christmas. We're going to talk about all that. But I knew Don before from his high school basketball officiating, where Finger Lakes One would be calling games, and Don was on the officiating crew. So we got a lot to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. How long were you officiating basketball games?
I think 15 years I've been officiating.
Were you just boys, or did you do boys and girls?
Just boys basketball.
I was trying to see. I was like, I don't remember you, and I feel like I would remember. I remember most of the refs, whether we had good connections or
Sydney
not.
was a basketball star at Minders.
Yeah, such a star. Anyways, we're going to talk about your business and how well you're doing. I think the most exciting thing and interesting thing we should start talking about is you went into this business with no experience at all.
Correct.
And I like seeing where you at now from like someone who had no experience running a restaurant, how you made everything work. So how long has the Waterside Wine Bar been open?
I think they've been open about 7 or 8 years, and we've owned it for 2.5 probably.
That's what I thought. My
wife is the brains, the heart and soul of the business. She calls herself the president, which she is on. So she'll walk in and say the Prezzi's here, and so she's really the one that drove us to purchase the business. She's the smart one of the family, so she was the ones behind everything, getting it set up for us. You know, when we first going through the process, we ran through a government shutdown.
Yeah.
And then, we jumped in with both feet. We made a lot of mistakes.
Sure.
Just as we were starting to find our groove, find our niche, then COVID hit.
Right.
So, we had to scramble again, and then they opened up things again last summer. So we were like, yes, okay, we got this, So then the retaining wall collapsed in the winter. But, there's silver linings and bad things. So nobody was hurt. Mm-hmm. It couldn't have happened at a better time of year. And construction's usually slow at that time. So all that, FLX Home Solutions was right there, Pooler Enterprises, Halco. They were right there, and they got the ball rolling quite a bit. So you got to look at the silver linings and things and not the negative ones all
Absolutely.
the time. So, yeah, I would be lying to say if I didn't want to give up at times. Mm-hmm. All these things that we had gone through the process and actually owning it, we're like, maybe we just aren't cut out for this. Maybe it's somebody's calling that we aren't cut out for it. We still make some mistakes, but
sure.
In this industry, you can learn from your mistakes and improve on them.
Yeah, if you're not making any mistakes, I would be worried, And like you said, you're learning from that. But to be able to come back from jumping into it with no experience, having COVID, the wall, which was a big thing, and a lot of the community was like upset about it.
When it happened, because it's such a recognizable location in Phelps and such a beautiful spot. And I think people, already knew that businesses, especially bars and restaurants, were struggling with the pandemic, and then to have something like that happen, it was certainly unfortunate. But so I'm wondering, what compelled you at the time to get into this?
My mother jokes that said I was going through a midlife crisis at 50. So my wife was in corporate world for a long time. For years, she's always wanted to do something. I mean, it was either dog grooming or anything. She was just wanted to get out of that world. So my family would go down to the wine bar for dinner, and I wouldn't go. I'd go to a sports bar or something, and because I like sports bars, and they would go down there. I'm not going down to no wine bar. So she finally got me to go down there, and we're sitting by the waterfalls out on the patio, and I go, this would be perfect place to own. And I happened to work with the previous owner's sister at Mid-Lakes, and I said, if your brother's ever looking to sell, let us know. And about 3 months later, he texted, and we started the process.
It's weird. It's almost like fate. It's like those things that happen. You just happen to work with his sister. I love when things like that come together.
It's a perfect for us. I still have a day job at Palmac Schools, so it works. The hours work good for us, and people really don't go there to start their night out. They come for dinner, or it's not a last call place.
Right.
So it's an older crowd. It's kind of like perfect. The previous owner had a great concept. We would have never come up with that concept, but the previous owner had a great concept.
Yeah, and it's kind of, as far as wine goes, it's not like on a wine trail. It's kind of removed a little bit, and really where you are, there's not anything too close by where you can have that type of experience.
Correct.
You would have to drive 10, 15 minutes probably.
Yeah. So we try to serve as many local Finger Lakes wines as possible, and people doing like coming in that we have such a variety of wines that they can taste instead of a winery where they just have that particular brand, which is not bad, but we offer a lot of wines at our establishment.
And then I want to touch base on how unique your area is right there, for the fact that they don't just have the wine bar right there, but you also have a distillery and a brewery within walking distance of each other.
And we have the beer right here, right?
Yep.
Yes, we
have Crafty Ales.
Yep, you brought stuff from Crafty Ales, you brought stuff from the distillery as well, and then one of the wines that I think is more of a popular one at your wine bar, correct?
Yes. The Dr. Frank semi-dry Riesling.
And what's great about
that's popular worldwide.
Yeah, I really love Dr. Frank's. What's popular, or what's great about Phelps is it's such a small area that you guys have decided to work together rather than compete for each other's business, correct?
That is correct. We all support each other. Even when that retaining wall collapsed, all the other businesses came right in. They offered their support, and so what's unique is that we're all different. So we're not really competing with each other, and everybody's just a down-to-earth person, just doing something, a passion that they enjoy.
Right.
So we got together and we came up with some T-shirts.
Show from the logo on the back of that T-shirt said.
The T-shirt that is an exclusive.
Yes.
That I'm going to show right here. Okay, let's see. Can you see it?
Yep.
So it's come get lost in the Phelps Triangle.
And if you see super close, you guys have wine bar, distillery, and then the brewery, and then a little bit of your guys' logos all together.
Yeah, it kind of hits the...
It's just so cute. And then I like the front too. The front says, I survived Phelps, which really, if you spend a day doing those three, you might have yourself quite the day by the end of the night,
Oh, yeah. So, luckily, I think everybody end up at our place because we have the food.
Yeah,
but,
right.
Crafty also has some great craft beers.
Yeah, this beer is incredible.
I know,
I
was
good.
really surprised.
The Flippa IPA is really good.
It's called Flippa, and we've talked with people that have brought craft beer on before, and it's such a thing that I don't know about. There's so much to it, but I've been to Crafty Ales and saw the variety that they have too, which is a big choice to choose from. So like if you're new and you want to try some stuff, that would be a good place to go.
Are you guys getting support from the Phelps community in general, or the Phelps, the government in Phelps, that type of stuff? What's it like doing business in Phelps?
Oh, it's awesome. We're kind of unique also, is that we're transplants to the area. My wife and I had grown up in Palmyra, and we had just moved out to Phelps. But I tell you, that community embraced us like we had been there for our whole lives. It's really remarkable community. I think we probably would have failed COVID and the retaining wall, if our business was in any other community besides Phelps, it is just a unique, all the business owners. I mean, there's Vanilla Bean Bakery, Local Palette, Body Needs, Cutting Edge Salon. It's like we're all related, but different.
Yeah.
We all support each other. It's a very unique community.
It's a gorgeous stretch through downtown, and of course you got the waterfall, which is great. And then we stopped for ice cream a lot at your neighbor.
Yep, Old Mill.
Yeah, the Old Mill. That's kind of iconic.
Yes.
Location there.
So much going on in that area, and I forgot. Like you said, you're the only one on the triangle that has the food.
Correct.
What kind of food do you serve? And you see a lot of people, like, do they have favorites?
Yeah, so we brisket and our pulled pork are very popular, and of course Sam, one of your employees, makes the poutine.
She has talked it up, and I need to get there now. She has told me, like, you have the best poutine. I think she gets it almost every time she goes.
She does. She definitely. She doesn't even. If I see her message come, I know what she's ordering. She doesn't even have to say anything.
I love it.
We sell a lot of Cajun shrimp pan too, is one of our hot sellers too. So. We have burgers and fish tacos and salads, and so we try to get a lot of the stuff local as well to help some of the local.
Have you had trouble staffing coming out of the pandemic?
No, luckily no. We, for some reason, people like working for us, and they are still reaching out to us. And our daughter works for us, which is awesome. When we're all there working together, our son is our son just graduated from Alfred State, so he's traveling all over the country working for National Junior Hurricane Golf.
Wow!
Or something for an internship. So he's
a
been
golfer?
to Seattle. Yeah, he's been to Seattle. He just left Dallas, so he sets up all these tournaments. But I tell him I don't miss him, but I said go. You're young. Go.
Course.
He really loves Seattle. But when all the four of us are working down there, it's pretty special. It's
I'm
pretty
sure.
awesome.
I bet.
So we have some great waitresses. Before it was you had to come up to the bar and order your stuff and go back and sit down.
Of course.
And then we brought the bar. So good out of bad with the COVID, when everybody was required to sit, we introduced the waitress system, and our customers love that system. We won't go away from it.
Yeah, it's more like going out to eat.
Yeah.
And, it's really. Bar restaurants can be weird, all of them are a little different. You never know what to expect. Some of them are more like a formal dining, even though they have that bar business, and some are just, like fried food. You order it and they bring it out from the bar. It just runs the kind of the gamut. So nice to have that option to sit. And like I say, it's a great place location-wise if you're looking for a nice dinner. It's like... Geez, does the Phelps Hotel serve anymore?
No, they're
closed.
Yeah, so like if you want a nice dinner, there's not much around there.
And you're doing live music too, correct?
On the weekends, on Fridays and Saturdays, we do some live music. So
that's a big thing.
People
I
just
think that's,
love sitting outside.
Absolutely.
After the pandemic, when they finally released some of the restrictions, sometimes as a business owner, you think money before anything else.
Right, sure,
So
you have to.
So we're one of the few places that outdoor seating. So we had some music, and you're always thinking flip tables to make more money. But
of course.
I would go outside and just look at the faces of people just finally be outside and listen to music. I was like, some things are more important than money.
Right.
Yeah, sit there as long as you want, enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And that is really a good point, because something like that with live music and COVID just finishing and stuff, I'm sure you would be worried that people would want to kind of stay out a little bit longer and occupy a table, maybe if they're not, buying as much after their dinner. But to be able to be someone that's okay with that and be like, you know what, like, this is what people need right now, that shows the type of character you have and why people should go and support you even more.
Oh, thank you.
So, you mentioned this was your first business adventure, and we work with a lot of different businesses here, and I own a business, and I didn't have any experience before I started this business, and so it's always interesting to me just the way businesses are operated and which ones are successful and which ones don't make it. And I found that really it comes down to locally here, local businesses, it's the commitment of the owners. Like you really, as tough as times get, and they got really tough for you guys. If you've got a positive attitude and you said we're going to make it through this, then generally you do. You know, it's just like not giving up, and you overcome the hurdles in front of you and see your vision through, I guess. Is there anything that you kind of was learned, I guess, from this experience that you maybe didn't know going into it?
And like equipment, maintaining equipment, you know, the freezer, you know, our freezer went down too just not too long ago, and luckily the old mill had a spare freezer, that a chest one, and he had his guys bring it right over and we loaded our stuff. So just equipment clean, and keep having a good chef or a cook is important. That was, if we didn't have Don on prior, we probably would have delayed. We needed a cook before anything else.
Yeah.
Because we could serve the best wine, the best beer. People are going to come for the food.
Yep.
So that was our Don. We're lucky to have him. He's been there for, he's like family to us. So he was a key part. Little did he know, but he was a key part to the purchase of the wine bar.
Oh, that's awesome.
So you kind of had him lined up before you went through? Okay.
Yep.
That's so smart. Yeah, instead of just kind of jumping into it and being like, all right, now we have to try and find someone. Yeah, that is.
Well, your restaurant's only going to be as good as the person preparing the food. I mean,
know.
You can have the greatest
about
menu if nobody can put it together in the proper way. So definitely, that's important for sure.
They don't get as much credit as they should. People will go up to the owners and be like, "This was great meal," blah blah, and you're like, "Gotta remember that cook was the one who was really slaving."
I always like to tell the waitress that, "Hey, tell the chef that this was phenomenal."
Yeah.
And then sometimes they'll get excited. They'll come right out to the table and say, and then you get a free dessert maybe.
He had a night off one night, and I said, I'll do it. Oh, Lord, I appreciated him the next day. I hugged him. You think, you think, but you're not actually doing it until you do it, where everything's staged and just the routine and getting down the flow. I was like, I hugged him the next day. I was like, "Oh,
you're not getting another day off."
Yes.
You mentioned the equipment too. I mean, I think a lot of people think, "Oh, I want to own a restaurant one day." It's a common, whim that people have, or they think that they'd be good at it. But the overhead of the equipment that you need in a professional kitchen and the maintenance of that is it's almost overwhelming, and a lot of that's state regulations, and a lot of it is just by necessity. If you're cooking that much food, you need a good huge hood and fan system, and what are you going to do with the grease, all that kind of stuff, and then keeping it clean. There's another thing. Everybody says, well, my kitchen's going to be clean because I like things clean. Well, then you get in there and you realize keeping that kitchen clean is a lot of work. So it's
a whole process, especially not to know anything about it going into it. Did you do Google researches on things ever, where you're like, all right, I'm about to be a business owner?
Did you know anybody who had a restaurant?
I did a little bartending, but I was never in the
front
kitchen.
Of the house,
right? Yeah.
So no, we jumped in. I mean, I worked down there a little bit prior to the sale being complete to get used to it and have my face being used to it. So the transition was seamless. The previous owner just wasn't there one day. That's how seamless and they had already been used to seeing me there. So
that's a nice situation.
Yeah. So then we jumped in. The bartenders that had worked there helped us along, and our cook was in place too because the previous cook had left. So our cook went in there, so he already had a flow. So it was kind of a very unique situation that helped us immensely to, get the ball rolling.
Go ahead. Sorry.
You made those comments about not knowing if it was right for you guys, but it sounds like all these little things that just fell into place are kind of there for a reason.
Correct.
And the buzz is positive. You hear about it. I hear about it. Which word of mouth is the best. So congrats on the success.
Thank
it's
you.
Pretty awesome. Where can people find you online?
WatersideWineBar.com, and we have Instagram and Facebook page as well.
And that's where you say who's playing the live music. Do you have that scheduled out already for the summer? Is it a week by week basis?
We do by the month.
Okay.
So we'll do it by the month. Although I'm scheduled probably up until halfway through September. if I put it all in one, some people might forget. So we just do it month by month.
Yes.
And, we also employ special ed students for dishwashers. So Hunter worked with me for Mid-Lakes as a student cleaner, and now he's working for us.
Love that.
That's
Wine
pretty
Bar.
awesome.
So we've hired 3 different special ed students, former students, to wash dishes. So it's
That's
really
amazing.
awesome.
You have the best of both worlds, I feel like, with still being able to work in a school system, getting to see the kids and everything. What do you do there now?
So at Mid-Lakes, I was the director of facilities, and then I moved to my alma mater, to Palmac. So right now I'm like the head of grounds.
Okay.
So I'm like the two-man. So I help my buddy out, who is the director of facilities. He's been there since.
Great facilities at Palmac. I was up there for a lacrosse game recently, and the from the scoreboards to the quality of the fields and the layout. I mean, it's really pretty impressive what they do at Palmac.
To be able, to work with the kids, and then you can be like, hey, kids, bring your family down here, and then to be able to possibly give some of them employment, moving forward when they grow up. I think that's
so. The
awesome
cool
too.
thing about this location, in Phelps, thinking about it, is like people watching this. We probably got a lot of people from Seneca Falls, Waterloo, Newark, Geneva watching, Lyons. It's all 10 minutes to get there. So consider the Waterside, for dinner.
Make it a day and go through the triangle. Get yourself a shirt if you survive it at the end of the day.
Yeah, definitely hit Smoking Tails. They bought some slushy machines. They've been rocking it with the slushy.
Everybody
I'm
loves
sure.
the wine slushies.
Yeah, so I mean, you can just have a beer at one place, or what's even better is just talking to the owners of each place.
Of course.
I lean on them, although Mike from Crafty Ales has been around a long time, so I lean on him a lot. And the Smokin' Tails owners, even though they're new, they're just really smart, and they think things through, and so I lean on them as well. So it's, Vanilla Bean Baker is probably one of the best bakeries, so that's another great place. Nancy's a great lady up there. Phelps is very unique.
Yeah, it is. And you can make a whole day, like you said. Make it a whole day. Get some moonshine. We didn't try the moonshine, a little early, I think, for some moonshine, but some moonshine, some craft beer, and then some of your favorite local wines. You can find them, like you said, on Facebook, Instagram, or your website. The train, you get to enjoy the train. We haven't had a train go through one of our shows in a while, actually.
No, I think they changed their schedule during the pandemic. Probably had less stuff to ship, but now they're probably going to be coming through every Wednesday morning.
Now they're back, but
that's fine.
We're already almost out of time, so I do want you guys to touch base on, you've known each other anyways because of basketball.
Well, I've known of Don. I know you probably know Kevin Sharp pretty well. Yeah, so some of our team, but we cover high school basketball really close here at Finger Lakes One.
Of course,
And I just love the whole fabric of it. The coaches, the players, the families, the family names that keep coming up in the same communities, and part of it is the officials. So when we go to call a game, my first thing is who's calling this game? Ref in this game. And and I got my favorites too. That act like he's a great ref, or this guy's not that great. But Don's always, when Don's there, it's going to be a good game. And I just wanted to ask you, for our viewers, last year was way different. Is from the officiating standpoint, are you expecting a more normal season this year?
I would hope so. It depends what you read.
Yeah.
There's an uptick supposedly or something, so I would hope we'd be back to normal, because there's nothing like a good rivalry game.
There's
packed gym.
Yep. There's nothing like it. It's funny, I brought my parents to a game once, and my son and daughter, and they were little. They were getting upset because they could hear the crowd say something, but I don't hear anything.
Yeah.
Right.
I tuned that out. I did a big Monroe County rivalry game, and I had an inadvertent whistle. First time in my career. Huge rivalry Monroe County game. And all of a sudden, the only time the fans got together is when they chanted, "Go back to ref school," and I couldn't help but laugh. It was awesome. I have a lot of stories.
Part of it can be fun and good-natured. It's just cliche. You're at a game, you're going to ride the refs a little bit.
Of course,
But some take it a little over the top. You ever had to take somebody out of the gym?
I don't believe in that. I'll go over to one of the security or something, and put my hand over my mouth and just have them look up there,
right?
And then because they're watching
they see
somebody.
The same thing,
so usually, if I draw attention to them, they know and they simmer right down a little bit. So I try not.
That's a good way to do it.
I try not to throw anybody out.
And I just want to say, he felt nervous to come on this show, but you're going to do, like, reffing. That would give me so much anxiety because of, like, oh, my God, I make this call, and then all of a sudden this whole
you're
side of the
reffing, you
gym.
got control.
Yeah.
Like, that's part of being a ref is you got to control the game. And
Can't
the
control those
atmosphere and
people's
the
mouths, though.
situation. He's not have control here. This is totally foreign.
You're full control. You could say whatever you want, do whatever you want.
You're the one with control.
So I've done a lot of there's a local rivalry game that I've done a lot of games. So it's kind of unique too that you
the Lions Clyde.
Oh yeah, you build a relationship with the coaches and the players. I mean, they're both excited to see it. It's not like one pick, and the fans know who you are. They're like, hey Don, hey,
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
It's pretty cool too. I think in the world of reffing and the high school coaches rate the refs, and then they get to I don't know if they necessarily get to choose who they want, but they can say they don't want this person in their sectional game. They each have a couple of strikes that they can apply. How it works, but
Never
Don,
knew
I know
that.
is pretty well regarded in the world of basketball officials.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
So on this show, I came to the conclusion that you're just like a great guy. You got a great woman with you who had the brains, everything behind it, and made you have that push to get this restaurant. And I think that it seems like everything has gone, pretty great.
It has.
And it's just a beginning in a way because,
it's like a second reopening this summer.
Correct. Yeah, it's brand new.
So
brand new.
This summer, this time right now, and fall moving into that, I think you guys will see a lot of success, and I'm going to tell people that they need to get out there.
Yeah, we're going to get out there. We're definitely going to head out.
Absolutely. We'll round up my crew.
Soon.
We'll have to do that. Do the triangle, get the shirts. But unfortunately, that's already the time that we have. You didn't even do the weather. Do you want to do it quick?
Yeah, we should fill people in. It's been wet around here.
Yeah, it has.
But we are finally coming out of that. So yesterday was pretty much the end of it. Great day on tap Thursday, and then for the weekend, Friday, beautiful, mostly sunny, high near 77. Cooling down overnight to 59. Friday into Saturday, open up the windows, turn off the air conditioning. Saturday, mostly sunny, high near 80.
Okay.
Beautiful. And then Saturday night, some showers will probably move back in to the area. Temperatures will rise a little bit. The humidity will be back. And then Sunday, 70% chance of rain, mostly cloudy, high near 84. So Saturday better than Sunday. Friday night probably better than Saturday night if you're making plans. And then back to work Monday, mostly sunny, high near 82.
Let's get out of these showers. Let's go into August with a full summer vibe. I don't know, because I can't deal with this wetness much more.
Well, the nice thing is it's July, and usually everything's kind of crispy, but everything's green and lush right now on the golf courses in your yard.
My pool is definitely right here before it was ready to overflow. I was a little worried about that, but looks like we're heading into better weather.
Yep, and I got a nice stretch coming up.
Yeah, so thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. This was fun.
This beer was great. Make sure you let them know, and go check out the Triangle, the Phelps Triangle.
Check out the Phelps Triangle.
And thank you, of course, everybody that was watching. If you enjoyed the show, you can click like, you can share with your friends, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we will be back again next Wednesday. And until then, have a great weekend here in the Finger Lakes.